Hello everyone, good evening. So we are here. I don't need your computer. You need to check where you are, right? So even I hope you already installed the NCL and you got this file, like today's session. I already sent through WeChat, right? So first we'll talk about the data analysis. This is a big part. What I said the last class, plotting is not a big deal, you can plot. But tonight I will show you how to plot, but very simple plot. Every day I will show one by one step by one step. But the big part is to analyze data, okay? So open this one, data analysis class 2, this code. So you have this file. Like we have monthly mean sea level pressure, okay? So you already know how to open data in NCL, right? So we use the addfile, this function, right? I taught last class. So we need to open this one. So what I said, every time you need to know your data, right? The last class was 2 data sets, like wind and the air temperature, right? Today is sea level pressure. We never know what is inside the data. So first, what should we do? Can you recall the last class? Like I have this file. Okay, I'm not talking even NCL, right? I have this file. But this is not the file like Excel you can open, right? You can open directly. This is a binary data. It's not like ASCII file. So you can open and you can see, right? But this is the binary data, high scientific data, right? So you need to use some tools to check your data, right? So first, what we should do?
We should see the variables.
Yeah, see the variable. So what was the command, right? So first we need to change our directory, right? Is it clear? Okay. Yeah, it's clear, right? Or should I? Okay. It's clear, right? It's clear? Okay, so first we need to change our directory. But in Ubuntu Windows 10, you need to type \mnt. You need to mount. Like if it is in Cguin, you need to type the C drive. But if you are the direct Linux user, like you have the dual boot, then in direct Linux, like Ubuntu, you don't need to use MNT or like, you just change the directory like CD. But here in Windows 10, you always need to mount \the MNT, then maybe your data in F drive or E drive or D drive, you know your data, where you kept it, right? Then you know the folder, which folder, just you need to change your directory. And we always check by ls. We don't need to trust, we need to trust machines, but we need to check, because we are human being, right? Machine can mistake, even human can, so we need to check. That's why we need to check by ls. Now I'm here. I'm okay. Now I'm here. I can see my files. Okay, list of files. So I'm here. Our data is this one, right? This file, right? So which command should we use in NCL to see our variables? We need to know our variables, right? Then we'll dig more. Like in NCL, we have the code, then we'll use the pre-invert summary. We can see the more information of our variables, right? But before we do that, we need to know our variable's name. Like if I want to ask something to this brother, like I need to know his name. Okay, his name is Samuel. Oh, then if I call him Samuel, he will understand, okay, he's calling me, right? So when you open your data, you need to know your variable's name. You need to type the variable name. If it is capital letter, it should be capital letter. If it is like small letter, it should be small letter. It should use the same as the files. Okay? This is the most important thing. But most of us want to plot first. No. This is a wrong way. This is a wrong way. So now, what is the command? Can you remember? NCL file dump, right? NCL underscore file dump. This one in NCL, but in Linux, NC dump. Then it's, okay? So NCL file dump, then our file name SLP, type the tab. Always type the tab. Okay? So we know this one, then press enter. Yes? I'm coming. What is your file? You didn't install the NCL, right? You can copy from. Well, even you made mistake. Why you didn't follow the wizard? I gave you the, even you share another group, right? You see you made mistakes. Why? Oh, sorry. Wait. Come. We made mistake here. Then you need to type yes. Why? So now, like we know our variables, right? Variable name is SLP, like the sea level pressure. Okay? So for sea level pressure, we have like this is a 3-dimensional data. So like it has time, it has lag, it has long, right? So we know our variable name is SLP, right? The data type is plot. Unit is what? Millibars. Okay? So just we need to know the SLP, then we can know more by pre-inverse summary. Okay? So here I put the SLP. Do you know why? Because our variable name is SLP, like sea level pressure, right? Then uncomment this one and type exit because I want to go one by one. Understanding is the key.
What's that exit?
Don't rush.
What's that exit stands for?
Sorry?
What's that exit?
Exit means NCL will not run the whole code just before exit. Run this code and exit because I don't want to run the whole code. Yeah, I understand, but you don't understand. That's why I want to go one by one. Even I understand whatever. When I'm writing the new code, I need to test one by one. Okay, this line, okay, it's okay. Then one by one. Any errors? No errors. Okay, come. Like one by one. You need to check one by. This is a programming. If you make a mistake like one line, even a comma, the code, the entire code will not run. So we need to test one by. That's why I want to explain every line one by one. So I don't want to run the whole code, right? So now we need to type NCL. So NCL, then our file name, data analysis class 2, right? Our file name is NCL data analysis class 2, right? Yeah. Now we know our variable is SLP, right? Sea level pressure. Type is plot. We have the 3-dimension, right? So now here I want to explain everything. If you understand this thing, the next time you can analyze your data. So you see the time here, it doesn't make sense. Like you have time like 848, but you don't know from which days to which day. Okay, we can know by CDO show date, but we don't want to use CDO. I'm working on NCL, right? I need to know NCL, how to know the date, exact date. But this time he's saying, okay, I can understand what is the time, is it, right? So that's why maybe our time can be okay. If it is here like 1980, whatever. If it is month, okay, say for example, June, right? Or maybe it's daily, okay, maybe 30. It makes sense, isn't it? So you need to know the date, because like I have data from 1980 to 2016, say for example, but I don't need the whole, like I just want to analyze data for 2016. So I need to access, I need to index, the index, extract the data. Right? I need to access, I need to indexing, right? I need to subscript the time. Last class I showed how to subscript the let and long, like you have the global, but you can extract within your region. But now time, maybe you don't need to, like you have the 30 years data, but you don't need to use the 30 years, right? Maybe you want to use the specific date. So how to choose the specific date? Okay, in CD you can, but NCL can do, NCL is lava. So you need to know NCL, right? So see the code now, what I did. So this is make comment, and okay, remove the exit. Now we have the time, right? In our file we have the time, isn't it? In this file we have time, isn't it? Yeah, we have time. So in file F we have time. Then I want to convert this time, because this time was like, it seems not understandable, right? So that's why I want to convert the time in the real life, okay? So there is an option. In NCL there is a function like CD calendar. So copy this line, copy this code and open. In every time you need to know the function. How does it work? So our function is CD calendar, right? So here we should use the time. It should be numeric. You know numeric and non-numeric, right? Then there is options. It should be integer. Okay? So like your time can be multidimensional, and if it can be different, the standard Gaussian, Julian, etc. So there is option. If you use a 0, so it will convert the data with like year, month, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. So there is option. Here you see I use -1. I use the time, then -1. Why I use a -1, right? You need to understand. Okay? You need to know the options. So like if you use 0, so -1 or 1, if you use this one, you can convert your time into year and month. So I know the sea level pressure inside the data, I know this is monthly mean sea level pressure. So I just need to convert it year and month, isn't it? That's why I use -1. But you can use a 1, but it will be double. It will not give the integer. That's why I use a -1. Okay? This is the inside story of NCL. So there is option. You can use even -2 if you need to convert your data like year, month, and daily. Maybe your data is daily. So you need to convert the year, month, and daily. Use a -2 or 2, whatever. There is option. So I provide the link. Anytime you just enter the link, what you need, you just convert it, right? That's why. So here I use a -1. I just want to convert it year and month because my data is monthly mean. Okay. So even I want to get the integer, like if my data is monthly, so say for example 1980 06, it means the year 1980, then my month is June, isn't it? Should be like that. So NCL has the print option. You can print even in Python. In every software it has the print option. You can print something, right? That's why I define this time is city calendar. We have the time, then I converted it with this function. Then I want to print the time, what I converted, right? And I want to see with my eyes. I want to check, right? So type exit. I don't want to run the whole code, right? Okay, so now okay, type. You can see yeah, it came. Now you can see the date. Now from there, I can extract any data. You know the NCL is zero base. Say for example, if you want to extract, like you analyze the data 2016, so from January to December, right? So in NCL only understand, okay, your 2016 started from 816, right? From 0 to the number, how many times do you have, right? Maybe you have the 30 years data. If it is yearly, it should be 38, 0 to 37. NCL is zero base, right? Did you get it? So if you type 816, NCL will understand you want to extract the data 2016 January. Kaima? Like yesterday I showed we have the let and long. Then we use the curly bracket and we define our let and long, right? So for the time we can do like this. So now we started vice president asked to convert the long, like our data can see our data was global, right? If we print bar this one, sorry. Comment this one. So our data is global. I'm fixing one by one. Time is finished, right? You know how to convert the time now. I'm coming how to extract the time, but I want to finish one by one, okay? Now your data is global. However, maybe in your area you have long with negative value, right? So you need to convert, you order the longitude from 180 to negative 180 to 180, right? Then you can use the negative long, isn't it? So you need to reorder, okay? So that's why we use long flip. We use this function long flip. So we want to reorder the long into negative 180 to positive 180, okay? Then you can extract, you can subtract the negative long, okay? So now let's print it. It was the global 0 to 357, right? It should change from negative 180 to 80, okay? Now we see the long, it changed. And so many of students asking the NCL, like in WeChat or like directly, brother, I have a problem, I don't understand the data. Oh, data analysis is difficult. Why? Because you don't understand line by line. Your aim is to just plot your data. That's why. No, you should know this thing. Plotting is not a big deal. Then you can analyze your data within day and finish and submit to the journal. Okay, it's finished, right? Okay. Now, you want to access your time. What I said, I just want to plot 2016. I want to analyze the data within 2016, right? I need to extract. So here, our data is 848, but we just want to analyze data only 12 months, right? In 2016, 12 months, from January to December. So, our time is 848. If we change, it should be 12 times, isn't it? If we take only 1 year, even if we have the monthly data, our time should be 12. Isn't it? So let's try. So here, from this sea level pressure, what I did, our data is 3 dimension, isn't it? We have time, we have lat, we have long. So for the time, I use from 816 to 827. What I showed in the printing time. Can you remember? From 816 means it's 2016 January. Okay? So I use this one. Then I want to use the global lat long. That's why I use colon. Colons mean you want to take the whole lat and whole long, right? Now see, it should change the time. Okay, so how many times here now?
Sorry.
Yeah, it should. And this one disturbed me a lot because I use like I work on cyclones. So tropical cyclones maybe in a one like in a year, maybe 2 days or 3 days. But I have the big data. From the data I need to extract. Maybe this year from this day. Okay, from this month, from this day. This disturbed me a lot. Then I wanted to extract how I did manually. Then no, it should be from programming. Then I sit down and learn how to extract the time. Now I have the files. I know from where to who is day. I made it in text file in NCL. You do by yourself. I don't need to do manually. Did you get it? If it is the regular data, you can just average. It's fine. Like the tropical cyclones in a year, maybe 2 days or 3 days. So you need to, from like 30 years later, maybe this year from this month, 2 days. This year, this, you need to accumulate, right? Think about it. Even in a year, maybe 30 cyclones, how? So you need to know, right? Even maybe also, okay, you don't want to extract the whole years, maybe certain days, right? So you need to extract. So now our data is 2016. Now our unit is what? Millibars, right? So for example, you have the temperature data. Your unit is Kelvin. You want to change it to degree centigrade, right? Degree Celsius. Your data, like data sea level pressure in millibars, maybe you want to change in Pascal. It depends on your research. Maybe you need it. How do you change? Yeah, you can change in CDO, but NCL is lava. NCL can do it. So how? So if you want to change the unit, the last class I showed you need to use this at the rate. Can you remember? You always need to do the at the rate, right? Then you need to change. But there is option. Now there is a secret. Even I got several times the problems and I asked in the NCL talk. When I was a beginner, I can remember in 2017, I didn't use this line. every languages, every software has some specific uses, right? Specific function. Why? So like in NCL, if you do any calculation, right? You want to do the arithmetic operations, right? This is a multiplication, right? In every languages, asterisk means the multiplication, right? This is the arithmetic operation, right? So even whatever you do with that function, your metadata will be removed in NCL. So here we can see very well our data. We have time, lat, long, etc. But when you do like some operations, like some calculations, NCL will remove everything. Okay, let me show you. Like we have the information, right? I can see. Now our unit is millivar. So if we want to change it Pascal, we need to multiply by 100, right? Because 1 millivar is 100 pascals, isn't it? So we need to multiply with this, right? Then it will be Pascal. Okay, I want to comment this line and see how it removes the whole metadata. Okay, so I want to print it here. You see? Look at what is this? There is no information. There is no information. NCL removed. Now if you want to plot, error, there is no information. And ask the NCL talk, why I'm not getting the plot. Then say, you need to know the basics. Sit down and learn. That's why we need to copy. So, we need to use this function now. You can visit this link. I provide the link for you. So, okay, let me explain why. I have the information here, right? I have the information here. Then, as NCL removed, if you do some calculation, right? That's why we need to copy the metadata or information from the previous file to this file. Did you get it? So that's why I use this function copy. Bar means variable. Meta means metadata. And this function is saying from this file to this file. Clear? We copy the information from here to here. Did you get it? Because we have the information here. But check it. This is 3-dimensional, this is also 3-dimensional. Like if you have 3-dimensional, you want to copy from there to 2-dimensional, no. So we have the information in this file, right? And we did some calculation, we did arithmetic operation, right? So NCL will remove. That's why we need to copy the metadata, that every information from this file to this file. That's why copy var meta, copy variable metadata from this file to this file. You should use the command, remember. Or I get the, if you forgot, go there. So, okay, everything is there. Now you can see. I use this line, now I will print. You see, we didn't have the information, right? Let's run. Now we have everything. See. Plotting is the last part. Okay, now? Okay. Okay. 非常好，非常好。好嘞，好嘞。Okay, now we want to change the unit. Okay? So please remember, if you have the data in temperature, right? If you are unit Kelvin, you want to change in degree Celsius. So maybe you need to subtract, right? To have 273 point something, right? I can remember like something like that. So remember, if anything in NCL without function, built-in function, you want to do some like you can subtract, you can divide, you can multiply, right? Etc. It's up to you. But remember, you need to copy. Otherwise, you will ask me, even the last year, 2019, brother, I'm not getting figure. Why? Oh, I said it. Problem. Now I can guess. It should be from there and from this line. Like you need to be a doctor. You need to check the health. Yeah, then your life is easy. Now I'm doing PhD. I don't have pressure. You know why? I don't have pressure anytime. Okay, I just need the new idea. Okay, this thing. Okay, where I need it, NCL. Okay, I'm there. MATLAB. Okay, I'm there. Spatial. Okay, I'm there. So just learn one thing very well. And NCL is dedicated. NCL is most powerful. Okay. Anyway, now our unit is millibar. So what I showed in the last class, we can change or access the. Can you remember the attributes with this at the rate? Can you remember the last class? So our variable is SLP Pascal, this one, right? Then we want to change what? Units, isn't it? Our units is in millibars. So we already changed by multiply 100, right? But here the unit name is millibars. So we also need to change the name here, right? The attributes. Yeah, but in the data we change by multiply 100, right? But we need to change here. Otherwise, if you show the millibars, it will be confused, right? It will be confusing. No, I changed in Pascal, but it's still showing millibars. It's confusing, isn't it? So we need to change also the names. Then maybe next time, maybe after 1 month, you will sit down and see, what I did. Yeah, maybe you will forget, right? That's why it's better to change. Okay, maybe the next class I will show how to save as a netcd file, save as a text file, whatever. Not everything one class, right? So let's run now. We give the name Pascal PA, right? It should be changed. And run. See the unit now. Is it changed? Yeah. Are you happy now? It should. Okay, so now NCL has some function. It's very useful, but you need to know which function do you need to use. Otherwise, NCL will not take responsibility. In 2018, when I said, I thought, okay, I use this average, this function, but I'm getting on a single one value. Then the scientists from there, then they say, this is not the responsibility of NCL. This is your responsibility to know which function do you use. NCL has like alternatives. You can use this one. But which one is perfect for you, you need to use. What is for the CD calendar? You can use -1, -2. There is option. So you need to know your data. And which one do you have to convert it, right? That's why for the arithmetic operations, NCL has many functions like, okay, let me explain. It has only the average You see, it has only average. It will give you only single 1 point. That's mean you have the time, that number, everything will be 1. Did you get it? If you just wanted 1 point, then you just average A, B, Z. Kramer, Quay. Now, there is also some options you need to know. It has dimension average, but this one has also the problem. No, there is no problem, but you need to know. So, say for example, if you have data like SLP, you have the data, you have time, length, and long, isn't it? You have to average over time from maybe, okay, from 80 to 2016 or maybe only 2016, isn't it? But if you use this function, it will not take the time, it will take the rightmost function, rightmost dimension. That's mean it will average over long. So you need to reorder, if you want to use this one, so you need to reorder and you need to reorder the time at the rightmost dimension. Did you get it? You can use this one, but you need to reorder. Clear? Then you can also, okay, then make this one. You don't need to reorder. You can just say, okay, NCL is 0 base, so time is 0, right? 1, 2, isn't it? So 0 means the first dimension, isn't it? The second, third dimension. Okay, maybe you can, n means which dimension you can average. The problem is maybe you need to, what I said last time, you need to copy the variable metadata, right? Maybe you will lose the information. There is also the problem. Now, what is the solution? The final solution is like, use this one. So you don't need to reorder. You will not lose your information. Use this one. Here. So that's why, okay, let's try and see. Just use the average one. So it will give you only one single value. Okay. I get the link so you can visit and learn more. You see, only one value. Maybe sometime, maybe, okay, for January you need the average, like you want to make the bar graph. Okay, you just need the average value of rainfall or sum, the total rainfall of January, right? You need only one value, isn't it? Then you do it. You need to know the purpose, you need to know the use of this function, right? Otherwise, just use dimension ref. So we will use this one. Dimension average and ref. This is the function. What I said, I don't need to reorder. I don't need to lose my data, like the information. So just I will use this function. I don't need to copy everything. This is built-in function. This function will do everything for you. But you need to know the function uses. Like this one should be the data. Then which dimension do you want to average? If it is in time, so you know your data. If it is the first dimension should be 0, if the second dimension 1, the third dimension should be 2. Okay? So we know our time is in first dimension, isn't it? Yeah. So this is print bar summary, but there is another one I use here, print minimum maximum. Why? From the print bar summary, we can just see the variable information, right? But I want to know my data minimum, value, and maximum, right? So that's why you need to print. It's not like MATLAB, right? It will be in this, like memory. In Python, NCL, it should be print, right? Should be printed out. So print min max means we want to know the minimum and maximum value. But here, why is 0, right? What I said, every time you need to understand the function, understand the code. So like here, you want to know this variable, the minimum and maximum value, but why is 0? 0 means there is an option. 0 means false and 1 means true in NCL. But what is false? That means if you use 1, like if you have the information, right? Here, many information, right? It will fit, like it will skip some lines, some information. If you use 1, that means you don't want to see the whole line, all the information, right? You just want to see the minimum maximum value, okay, it will maybe fit or skip some lines. But if you use 0, false, that's when you want to see the everything. Okay, now? Even I provided the link so you can visit and learn. Okay? So that's why I use 0. I don't want to fit my line. I want to see every lines. Okay, so run. Here, this is the link. You can go there. And in future, if you want to make code, you should give the link for others or maybe for you. Maybe next time you will forget what you did. Even you need to make some comments what you did. Maybe after 6 months you will sit down. Right? Like my one paper, this is a COVID-19 journal is very slow. The 4 months ago, I submitted it like comes back. Now it got minor revision accepted. But I need to go back what I did 4 months ago. I forgot everything, but I made some comment. When I opened my code, oh, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. So I can remember. Clear? In any programming language, any software, it's better to make some comments. For you, maybe in future, Brother Samuel will ask, brother, I saw your paper, you did this analysis, can you give me the code? Maybe we can collaborate, or maybe I want to help Samuel, right? I will give him the code. That's why when I will give the code, if there is comments, you will understand. Did you get it? It's better to make some comments, right? Now run. You see the minimum value and maximum value. Even we didn't lose our information, right? But we average over time. That's why now our data has 2 dimensions. Okay? If we want to plot, it should be 2 dimensions, right? We had 3 dimensions: time, left, long. We average over time. But I use this function. I didn't need to reorder. I didn't need to lose my information. Did you get it? So I got everything. So use this one, dimension average and ref, all for the sum, the same way, the same function. Similarly, the sum, the same way, use this function. Now you can do sum. It's fine. Yeah. It's saying we sum over time dimension, right? And last time we did average, right? We did sum over time. Okay, now let's learn how to plot in NCL. Okay, before we plot this figure, I will show you just simple figure 2-9. But we can modify, we can beautify in NCL. But this is very simple. In the first day, you should learn how to plot. Then we can beautify, we can modify everything, right? I will show one step by one step. So, any question? Mayo. Okay, so now you have this code, right? The simple plot class 2. So we know this thing. We just already learned, right? I average. over time. Okay. So now for plotting. For plotting, in NCL has 3. You can make note. NCL has 3 steps for plotting. What is 1? One is WCase. What is the WCase? WCase means workstations. You will analyze your data. You want to plot your data, but you need to save your files. You need to save your plot or image, etc., right? So maybe you want to save as PNG file, or maybe it's EPS file, or maybe like as PDF, right? So you need to define this WCase. That means the NCL will understand you want to save your plot or figures as this name with this extension, like as PNG or PDF, etc., right? That's why you need to use this one. So there is a function ZSN open this one, then you need to give the file name, like, so not file name, which type of file do you want to save, as PNG or EPS, whatever. You should use double quotation. Please remember NCL follow the C for string. C use double quotation. Okay? It's not Python, you can use anything. Single, double, triple. So be careful. Then it should be common. This is a structure. In every time it should be this line. Then maybe you want to change your resolution. I will show next time. But this line should be. Did you get it? First should be this one. Where you want to save, like as a whiz file, you need to show. Then you can give the name. You can give the same way. It's up to you, but it's better to make a file name is convenient, right? I use SLP, simple plot, whatever. You know your file, so you just give your convenient name, right? First one is which file, which extension do you want to use, PNG, EPS, or whatever. Then you should give the name. Right. Okay, then this is a resources. In NCL, we call this heart of NCL. Why I'm coming? Sorry. Resources. This is called the heart of NCL. If you want to modify your figure, if you want to beautify your figure, you need to use the resources. Did you get it? Every time you need to say resource is equal true. This is a Boolean type. Boolean is true and false. Okay? If it's true, NCL will understand you want to modify your figures. Then there is different options, built-in functions. As I said last time, it should be at the rate if you want to access something, right? NCL has this function, and what you want, you just call them by the at the rate. In the first way, maybe 4 or 5 lines. Then first is the WCase, then the resources you need to modify. Finally, we will plot. Okay. Then the last step is the plot. It can be different type of plots. It's fine. It can be like XY, like temporal. It can be spatial map, whatever, any plot. It can be vector, like you have the wind data, whatever. The last step is the plot. We want to make the contour map, right? So if you want to make the contour map, is fine. Maybe you want to just the color map, you want to just X and Y, like bar graph, line graph, etc. The last step is which type of plot do you want to use, right? This is the last. So 3 things for plotting. One is which type of file you want to save. Okay, it can be PNG, it can be PS, it can be PDF. Then you want to modify your figures of the plots, right? So you need to use the resources. Then finally you should call the plot function. Now everything is done, right? Now let me explain the resources. First we need to use the true. These are Boolean, okay? Then always if we want to use built-in function, we need to use the @. In the first class I said if you want to access or change something, then you need to use the @, right? Then, like in graphs, use a GX out shaded, maybe, right? Right? In graphs you use this. That's when you want to shade it. You want to make contour, but you want to shade by colors, right? In NCL, it's like CN means contour. Fill in on true. This is also Boolean. If you use the true, that's when you want to shade it by colors. That's why I said if you understand one thing, you will understand everything. This means you want to make a color first, right? You want to shade it by colors, contour, right? That's why it's true. Then NCL can use grass color, NCL can use MATLAB colors, everything is there. So like, we know the MATLAB jet color, right? It's very famous. So now contour fill plate means which color map do you want to use? It has different color map. Next time, next class, I will give the link and you can choose from there. Like I have chosen the MATLAB jet colors. There is like 100 of colors. So you can choose which one do you like. Okay? And which color fits for your data, right? So you can use different. So now this one for the color map. Then line on, that means we don't want to show the lines. Like if you draw the contour shaded, you can also show the lines, contour lines, right? But we don't want, we just want to shade it and we want the color work and see, right? But if you want, then you should use true. Okay? Then these two lines for the updated version of 6.6.2. The last two, I was confused. Like I was using 6.5 NCL. The previous version, you don't need to use the raster. So by default, there is an area field control. Like you want to shade by color, right? The area by area. Not raster. Raster will be like this dash like raster, like not smooth. Okay? So that's why in 6.6.2 the area by default removed. You need to use the raster. Raster is much faster. It takes less time. Did you get it? That's why you need to use this raster now. But if you are the previous user, you have the 6.5 or 6.4, you don't need use this two line. By default, you can shade it. Okay? But you need to use the fill mode is raster fill. Then, the raster is not the smoothing. It's like there's this type, right? That's why we need to use another function. Raster is smoothing on true. That's why it will be nice figure like this one. Okay, let's check, right? We don't want to believe anything. Okay, I am making this comment. We want to see the change, right? Now, this is the option. We have the function GSM, CSM contour map. It should be 3 arguments. What is this? The first one, which type of files do you want to save? You save as PNG. Clear? Then it should be your data. It should be 2 dimension. Okay? Then should be the resources. Resources mean the heart of NCL. How did you want to modify your figures? Clear? Tonight I will make the global figures, global map. Tonight I will not show you your area. But maybe next class I will show, okay, within this area you can plot. There will be more resources. Then maybe you have the shapefile. You can use in RGL, but NCL can handle shapefile. Maybe you have the country shapefile you want to use. I will show one by one. Okay. So now it should be 3 arguments. Do remember. Let's run. Oh, okay. I didn't run this one, right? I ran the previous one. Sorry. NCL simple plot, right? This one. These are code, right? We just modify it, right? And press enter. You see, this is a raster. It's not smooth because I made comment. Sorry?
You mean pixel?
No, the raster is like
Just
like you are shading with the special area, so there is like different geometric algorithm how you shade it. So this is a raster one method. Okay. So now see, this is not smooth, isn't it? Samula,
Yes.
this is not smooth.
Yeah.
So we need to smooth, right? That's why we need to add this line. We want to smooth? True. Let's run. Okay, let me delete first. Now see. Smooth. Now maybe if you want to change the color bar, etc., this tick mark, etc., but for not to now. You see that even you can use initial MATLAB color bar, MATLAB section. Okay. Maybe you don't want to give this title. Maybe you don't want to put the millibars. You want to add like a journal paper A, B, C, D, etc. You want to add your wife's name there. It's okay, but next time. Thank you. Any question? Yo, Antima. Yeah? Okay, let me stop my recording.